Welcome back to Notes Edition, where I read notes off of my phone. Today's note is called What's Wrong with CBDCs? Today, let's talk about central bank digital currencies, or as I like to call them, compliance credits. But first, a little thought experiment. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and your bank account showed a zero balance? I'm assuming you'd probably call them up and say, hey, where's my money? But what if the bank said that they had no record of a positive balance or that the funds got hacked somehow? How would you get your money back? Let's table that discussion for now and talk CBDCs. What makes them different from the digital dollars we have today? US dollars are issued to third-party banks in the form of physical and digital Federal Reserve notes, essentially national debt issued by a central bank. You deposit cash into your local bank branch and they show a digital account balance of the amount you've lent to the bank. The account balance is meant to represent the amount of paper dollars you're able to withdraw. CBDCs are slightly different from digital dollars in that they are essentially a government direct-to-consumer currency account. It's a bank account, but centralized, authored and monitored by the government, paperless from inception. The implementation could take various forms, but essentially whoever uses the platform will be subject to the design architected by that particular government. So what's wrong with a government bank? Well, first off, it's a power grab and in many ways a conflict of interests. Let's say you get a speeding ticket. Depending on the framework, the rules of the CBDC, there's the potential to automatically withdraw funds from your account with nothing more than a little notification on your phone to show for it. Completely automated enforcement. You might be able to contest a charge like you would with a bank, but ultimately the decision would be up to the government who owns and controls the code base. Let's say you do or say something a government doesn't like. Pause. They put a hold on your account, freezing your funds until you show up to court or comply with regulation. Let's say you try to buy an item. Tax could be collected directly, bringing the cost of enforcement as close to zero as possible. If you try to buy something they don't want you to have, the transaction is blocked altogether. There's no withdrawing money into paper form because it would be digital from the ground up. Consumer privacy will come in the form of privacy protection from other consumers, but not privacy from the issuing authority. CBDCs are programmable much like crypto. The question is, who is doing the programming? Who has the power? Who is in control of how money is earned, spent, exchanged, and surveyed? These centralized planner designs would turn human individuals into units, lines of code. The final step will be to assign facial recognition to your account. This will provide secure access to your account to protect you from other people trying to steal funds. Seems fair enough. The issue with this, however, is that it also becomes an indispensable tool of control and surveillance. When your biometric data links your account to your funds, your passport, your driver's license, your property, your devices, it creates a one-stop shop to monitoring and regulating your behavior. Incentivizing compliance would be gamified, with the power to restrict travel or prevent purchases at the will of the issuer. While some of this seems like a distant dystopian future, we are already seeing CBDCs in early stages. FedNow launched in 2023, and although it isn't exactly consumer-facing at the moment, there is a huge incentive for governments to push further future adoption. Many stablecoins within the crypto industry closely resemble the properties of central bank digital currencies and will undoubtedly play a major role in their mutual development and technological formation. The question is, How do we survive the hyperinflation of paper currency without suffering the consequences of a cashless society of mass surveillance? And that is today's note.